We begin this morning with Dr. Amy Hagerman, our Ag Policy Specialist for OSU Extension. And Amy, smile on your face. There's some resolution in Washington, the end of the government shutdown. Kind of give us the highlights and the things that you're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, it's nice to finally give people some positive news that this government shutdown, the longest shutdown in history, has ended. On Sunday, the Senate passed a bill that would continue the funding for the government for a limited window of time while other negotiations can happen. The House passed it on Wednesday, and then the president signed it into a law Wednesday evening. It's going to take a few days for USDA to get up and rolling and definitely be calling the office to make appointments ahead of time for any business that needs to be done. But we're happy to see those folks coming back to the office.
Talk about some of the key priorities that you're looking at that would impact Oklahoma farmers and ranchers and kind of what some of those timelines are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is important to realize that there were some key discussion points in this one. SNAP benefits, of course, being one of those. We're talking about the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. There was some lapse in those benefits that was affecting a lot of Oklahoma families. That has been extended through the end of the fiscal year. That's September 30th, 2026. So even if something happens otherwise in federal funding through some of these agencies, it's been extended forward. Similarly, USDA and a few other agencies like the FDA have been extended through September 30th of next year. So even though all the other government agencies end on January 30th, they'll have to renegotiate the funding for those agencies leading up to that January 30th deadline. USDA SNAP benefits will all continue in that window of time. Another key provision that is going to affect a lot of Oklahoma families that was in this one is the Affordable Care Act, or the open marketplace subsidies for certain families that are purchasing their insurance on the open market. That was a key negotiation point for the Democratic Party, and there is an assurance of a vote sometime in December to be able to consider extending some of those health care subsidies on the open marketplace.
Want to briefly talk about the changes with THC and hemp.
So the 2018 Farm Bill created a definition for hemp. That definition was refined in this process, and so that's going to create some changes for the testing of THC levels in hemp crops, and also for the kinds of hemp-based products that are on shelves in stores across the state, because it limits the THC levels, and then it also changes the types of THC that are being tested. So these are all things we're going to need to wait for the state guidance on how that will affect testing at the farm level.
All right, Amy, I'm sure we'll have you back on SUNUP again very soon. Thank you very much for the information, and we'll see you then.